YouTube was good. Twitch, we be in the building. Look, if you're not on the Twitch, subscribe to my Twitch. Follow me on Twitch, ZayTrav. YouTube, we back in the building. You know the vibes. Like and subscribe. Let's get it. Let's go.
A broke man is a dangerous man, and you have no business dating one.
Look, I'm not becoming one of those types of content creators, but I've seen too many videos in 2025 of women just portraying loser activity. So when I saw this video on Abba and Preach's channel, I knew I had to make my own version of it. And literally, like somebody said in the comment section, there's just a bunch of contradictions on both sides. They don't even realize they are becoming fresh and fit with wigs on.
Back in the olden days, they would see 200 baddies in their whole life. And now it's like they are desensitized to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll have conversations with my guy friends where I need to check them, where I'm like, you need to check yourself. They'll be like, oh, well, her hair wasn't perfect, or she didn't have like veneers, so I just didn't. And I'm like, you are a 4 at best. Like, this is insane.
Now, I know double standards exist, but literally think about if we saw any male content creator come out and do that exact type of content. Like, literally think about it. Just, let's say 2 men on a podcast based in Miami. Matter of fact, let's put some women around them and they just make those. That already exists.
Yeah.
That's the whole Red Pill community. Male Red Pill content creators' core beliefs are that men should be high value, women are promiscuous, they're not to be trusted, they're gold diggers, etc., etc. But when you really start paying attention to the women online, or hell, even the ones in person, they are saying the exact same things in reverse. Men don't deserve X, Y, and Z, only high value men get respect. All these same Red Pill adjacent conversations.
She not talking to me. 6 feet and above, shorty. It's tough too.
And now maybe that woman is just into raising the next fleet of NBA players, but I think that there's a little bit more to it. Myron Gaines literally has a book titled Why Women Deserve Nothing, and he's a bona fide loser, pretty much across the internet. But if a woman were to do the same thing, which they are, nobody bats an eye.
Sometimes men will grow to resent you for being the one that was there watching them struggle, for being the one that had to buy their underwear and buy them food. They feel like you've already seen them not looking like the provider.
I think women get this pass on the internet to say the most outrageous things about relationships and dating. The things that can make them seem like honestly goofies if anybody was giving a clear perspective. But the strange phenomenon about this is women will give them praise for saying just outlandish shit. Every time I scroll down the timeline, I see a video like the ones that we've shown, but I'll see a video like this, and then when I go to the comment section, it just has me looking, wow, amazed.
Whenever I've heard a man say, let me see what you look like with no makeup, let me see what you look like without the hair, I feel that that man is telling you that he does not have the money to finance your beauty upkeep. Don't come over here thinking that I'm gonna go to Sephora and get you some makeup.
What? Okay, so everybody's just cooked. Everybody just cooked. Everybody just got podcasts saying what they want to say in 2025. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it.
So I need to see you without all that because I want to strip you of all that because I ain't got it. When a man says that to you, he wants to strip you of everything. He doesn't want you to have the thought process of maintaining yourself.
One thing that the internet has to do in 2025 is
maintaining yourself. Makeup does not maintain you. Food, water, shelter, and occasionally working out whenever you can. That's maintaining. And money, having a good job, that's maintaining. Makeup and hair don't maintain you. Charge her to the game. She's cooked.
When somebody slows down their verbiage, they need to stop listening to them. Very rarely are they spitting any sorts of facts. I can almost promise you that it has nothing to do with the upkeep that you have or you having some sort of lavish lifestyle that he can't participate in when you do it. He literally just wants to see what you look like without fucking makeup on. Like, I don't even understand how you can jump to those hurdles in order to come to that conclusion. But the Olympics is in Los Angeles in a couple years. And if you're already ready right now, everybody else just needs to stop and not even compete because you are going to win if you were jumping to conclusions like this. It almost seems like when I watch videos like that people have things to hide about themselves. I hear videos talking about men don't need to know women's finances. Men don't need to know women's dating history. Men don't need to know what you look like without makeup. Men don't need to know about your family life. Well, damn. Then you get mad when men don't know things about you, and it's because, well, it's none of their business. It's not something that they should know. It's not a means for them to protect themselves, just like it's a means for you to protect yourself, but it's them being judgmental judgmental and picky and all these other things. I don't see too many times when people call this sort of conversation out, but this is just as detrimental to dating from a female perspective as it is to a male perspective when you hear Fresh and Fit talk about only having the 304s. Now you're justifying why you should go out into the world doing these things, and it's not leading to any sorts of better results. Hell, has she even ever thought about maybe this man is saying, hey babe, you can also just be comfortable in your own skin around me. You don't always have to wear makeup. So what happens 10, 15 years down the line? Do you continuously wear the makeup all the time? I just don't even think that there's any sort of logic that says,
Oh yeah, man, these women are tweakers, bro. They're tweakers. Literally. They are tweaking out. Up here, they're not there, bro. Like, they don't have it. Some of them are, good women. Some of them are loyal. Some of them have good logic. But most of them don't. They are cooked.
hey, let me be this combative over something so small and insignificant. Now, Redpill content for men can breed mistrust and this whole stigma behind dating in women that honestly has men lonelier than ever. And on the flip side of that, it's doing the exact same things for women and nobody says anything.
There is not a single man who actually believes in not all men, because they'll tell their sisters and mothers to be careful, and they'll obsess over controlling their wives and daughters because they know, deep down, they too assume that men are all the same. But to everybody else, it's not all men. So to those men, instead of trying to distance yourself from the problem because you can't get over your bruised male ego, realize that if you refuse to acknowledge the problem by derailing the conversation and invalidating women, you are just as bad.
Now, on surface level, some of this stuff has good conversation and good intention behind it. There's something to be talked about how people view each other in relationships. But when this person specifically, or other content creators like her, base their whole identity and lifestyle about relationships suck, men only see you as lesser than, you're not equal to a man in his eyes, etc., only pushing the divide further and further between men and women when it comes to dating and relationships, what do we think is the outcome? It looks like relationships are put on the back burner more and more, and then people are in their 30s and they get desperate because there's some sort of clock that's ticking. It looks like people don't know how to respect each other based off of the sole fact that they have two different genders than each other. It looks like people will avoid relationships more and more because on one end of the spectrum, there are men telling men not to date these women and stack their bread. And then on the other end, there are women telling women don't deal with these men. And so now you have these two opposing forces pulling each other away from each other, only for them to be criticized and chastised later on in their life when they're not dating, when they get finessed because they don't understand how dating works, when they don't have kids and live out a dream and they call them lonely. This shit is weird.
It is not quirky or funny to publicly admit that your emergency contact is your boyfriend or husband who is deeply incompetent.